Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and light of lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
There you go.
Nice. Welcome to episode 99 of Sports on Tap. I am Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell and Eric Anderson. Gentlemen, how are we?
I've been better than the last 2 minutes, I'll tell you that.
Wasn't that bad?
Oh, it's fucking awful over here. Be thankful it's not wafting your way. Wow.
It happens, man.
I have to ask at this point, what did you have for lunch?
I told you I had Chinese.
Oh,
That's why it's so bad.
that's bad.
It was delicious.
Doesn't smell like it.
I think that's fair. Honestly, that perfectly encapsulates the Detroit Lions this past weekend against the Carolina Panthers, does it not?
It really does.
Does it not?
Just that rank ass smell.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the
stink's
Detroit
back.
Lions against the Carolina Panthers this past weekend. Now, after that game, I went to the twitter.com and our other social media feeds and posted something along the lines of SOL lives on. I'm actually pretty sure that was verbatim what I posted.
Yeah, I believe it was actually.
And, oh, man, Lions fans got big mad about that. Big mad about that.
Well, the funny thing is they might have gotten big mad about that at that time, but you should have seen some of the shit I saw being talked after the game. Oof. I didn't even really see the game,
I did.
but I watched. I looked back on the stats. I kind of saw a couple plays on Red Zone. I had it on at my mom's house when we were over there for Christmas Eve. Saw a little bit, not a lot. Had a few conversations going back and forth, and after that game, I did log on to social media. I just wanted to see what was being said. Man, talk about jumping right back off the bandwagon with some of these people. Oof. I mean, this team was unbeatable last week
Right.
at
Yep.
this time.
Right.
Last week, Tuesday, according to Lions fans, this team was unbeatable. They were playing better than any team in the league.
Plan the parade.
They were not going to. They didn't lose to the Jets. They weren't going to lose to Carolina. They definitely weren't going to lose to the Bears, and they were going to beat the shit out of Aaron Rodgers and Packers in the last game. All fair statements of things that we heard Lions fans saying. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
And you're a Lions fan, borderline a Lions slappy, and even
Hey.
boy, I said borderline.
Okay.
I said borderline. So even you're saying that you heard the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So fast forward 1 week, not even, after the game on Sunday, oh, man. Oh, the fans were, this is SOL. There's no way we should keep Jared Goff, even though he wasn't the problem. Back to Campbell's not doing well, and they're not the answer. And it's like, literally 5 days ago, y'all motherfuckers were going to Super Bowl. You were playing at a parade. Yeah. Like, you couldn't lose to anybody. You were playing the best football ever. And that's not to take away from the fact that they had won, what, it was 6 out of 7, or was it 7 out of 8? I don't know.
6 out of 7.
6 out of 7. So, by all accounts, they were playing well. But again, it's like I said at that time. Let's reel it in a notch, folks. That team didn't go from 1-6 to the Super Bowl contending team that you thought they were. They turned it around a little bit. They were playing above themselves. They were playing outside of themselves. They were hot. They were a hot team. It didn't make them a great team. Okay? A not so good team can get hot and win some games. It doesn't mean they're world beaters, guys. They're still the same 1-6 team they were. Be excited they're building something. Be excited that you see some progress. But reel it in a fucking notch. Don't be so hot and cold. You know what I mean? Like they go from, they went 1-6, and everyone was calling for Dan Campbell to be fired, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Everybody. Not just you and me this time. We've been calling for that since day one.
Even the honks.
Even the honks were calling for him to be fired, right? Honk. So even the honks were calling for him to be fired. Then they go 6-1 in their next 7, and all of a sudden he's going to win Coach of the Year. They're going to the playoffs. They're doing this. Like, guys, can you just settle somewhere in the fucking middle?
Yeah.
Can you not be so hot and fucking cold here, guys? It is the fucking Lions we're talking about,
Well,
right?
and then this is another part of why you don't like to be a Lions fan, because you get, like me, I'm a little more realistic, I think.
I say the
with
same
my
thing.
expectations, you know?
I say the same thing about Frank as well, because you two actually are more realistic than most Lions fans are.
It's like if they got to the playoffs this year, great, cool. That's icing on the cake. Shouldn't happen. Year 2,
Shouldn't have.
not really. Look at last year.
I know.
Laid an egg. This year, first half of the season, laid an egg. If you got to back into the playoffs, great. Nobody expected that for one. But at the same time, it's like we talked about like early in the year, like what would be a winning season? what they're doing right now is definitely a winning season compared to what we were looking at last year.
And I actually agree with that.
I find that hard to disagree with, honestly, because
we talked about
you
it
actually look
earlier.
competitive, which is you cannot say that about last year's team.
No.
And then this year, they actually, okay, you're building something here. You see something, it's finally going in the proper direction. Mm-hmm. And it looks like it's, I guess, sustainable.
Yep.
You know? But like I said, I saw the complete opposite of what you saw on social media.
And that
Surprises
surprises
me.
me.
He's like, oh, you want this to be true so bad and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it is true.
It is.
It's absolutely true.
It is.
Like, I don't want it to be true. It is true. Like, you could basically control your own destiny when you went down to Carolina. You win that game, like, you're in the driver's seat. Mm-hmm. And what'd you do? You went SOL, and you got your asses kicked. You weren't even competitive in that game. Like, they were gashing your run defense the entire game, the entirety of you. Like, you guys were not even remotely competitive in that game. And then, of course, Captain Kneecaps. Oh, I didn't have my team ready to play. Why didn't you have your team ready to play? Why? If you're the rah-rah guy you claim to be, and everybody seems to think you are, how the fuck was your team not ready to play the biggest fucking game of the year? Answer me that.
Well, at this time, every game is the biggest game of the year for that team.
Right.
Yeah.
It's every single game is the biggest game of the year for them. And you can't afford to have outings where you just don't show up. You can afford to lose a game if you're competitive. And by all accounts, from what I saw of that game on Sunday, they didn't even get off the plane.
No.
Like that was a no-show for them. And if you really are a world beater team, right? Then you still can't afford to do that.
No.
Kansas City lost to Indianapolis early in the year.
I still don't know how the hell they managed that.
Buffalo lost to who did they lose to this year that was bad? I mean, I know they lost to the Jets last year, which was bad. I think they lost to the Jags as well. But even the world beater teams can't afford to not show up for a game.
Right.
It's the NFL. You will lose.
Yeah.
And if
They
you're
lost to the Jets this year, too.
they did, yeah. But the Jets are better this year. That's why I don't say this year. I mean, the Jets are actually kind of better this year.
Right.
Last year they fucking blew.
Yeah.
Still, but when you look at it, you can't afford to do that even if you're Kansas City, even if you're Buffalo. You can't afford to not show up for the game. You have to show up, or you'll still lose. It's the NFL, and the Lions are, despite what Lions fans wanted to think, they're not the world beater team you thought they were in the 6-1 record they had. They are more middle of the road right now, which again,
It's progress.
I give this to you. It is progress. This is a winning season for them. This right now already is a winning season for them.
Yeah.
Based on last year. So be happy with that. If they back into the playoffs, be happy with that. But don't start puffing out your chest and beating your chest like you're King Kong and like you're fucking Denzel Washington in Training Day when the Lions went on a 6 of 7 winning streak, guys.
Yes.
Let's bring it down a notch.
It's not even just that, but it's like you thought they were already at the Super Bowl, and now you want to throw everybody back in the trash too. It's
Right.
like, well, wait a minute.
Right.
It's like they're 6-2 in the last 8. It's still not that bad.
They still have Chicago, which is a very beatable team.
Yep.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they still have a very beatable Green Bay team. It's in Green Bay, which is going to be tough in January.
It's gonna be cold.
But that's still a beatable Green Bay team. They're playing a lot better than they were early in the season, though.
They are.
And this is one thing. I think, Chris, you were on board with me on this, too. I try to tell people, listen, Aaron Rodgers doesn't look good. Green Bay doesn't look good. Just wait, though. It's still Aaron Rodgers, and it's still the Green Bay Packers. And they can still beat up on teams in December and January. So,
I mean, shit, you look, they just went down to Miami and beat up on the Dolphins. And we'll get to that because I got some thoughts on that game, too. But going back to the Lions, it's just funny how everybody, like we said it at the beginning of the show, is like everybody's, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and yeah, you still have a shot to get to the playoffs. You absolutely have a shot to get to the playoffs.
There's still a chance.
There is. You're gonna need a lot of help to do it,
yes.
Yeah.
but you still have a shot. Which again, like we were talking about, it's progress, and that's good. It's you guys are trending in the right direction.
I am going to caution. I'm going to caution because I'm a caring person. I'm a very caring person.
Oh man.
I'm gonna caution Lions fans on this one. You're probably gonna beat the Bears this week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay? Bears are not good. Now, Justin Fields might run all over you again,
Yeah.
like Carolina did, but you're probably going to beat Chicago because Chicago doesn't have any other weapons like Carolina does. Chicago has nobody. They have Justin Fields and maybe Montgomery. That's it.
Yeah.
They have nobody else.
No, they don't.
They literally have nobody else.
Nope.
Their number one wide receiver is like a number one wide receiver for De La Salle down the road. You know what I mean? Like this. So you're probably going to beat them. Moving on, just expect to get your nuts kicked in when they lose to Green Bay in the end of the season, and they're the ones that knock you out of the playoffs. Expect it. Because if it happens, which it probably will, you won't be as disappointed, and you won't be wanting to jump off a bridge. Expect it. It is the Lions. It is Green Bay. It is in Green Bay in January. It's the Lions, man. You've seen it. How many times have you seen it? You saw it happen with Matt Flynn in Green Bay.
And in fairness, we did try to caution these people before the Carolina game as well.
I did.
Yes.
Definitely did.
Yes. And you saw what happened because, again, we've seen this movie before. We know how it plays out. But the fact that you're in December and January and you're playing meaningful games,
That's a step in the right
that's a step
direction.
in the right direction.
Yeah.
And that's a positive thing, and that's good for you.
It's so weird that you and I now are relegated to not so before we used to just love we like bashing the team, right? I mean, I'm never against bashing the Lions because I fucking hate that franchise, right?
Certainly.
I'm never against bashing them, but you and I are now relegated to we don't bash them anymore. We try and just level their fans out a little bit and be like, all right, listen. First of all, don't give up on the team. They're actually showing progress. Why are you jumping off the bridge right now when they just lost to Carolina? We tried to caution you they were probably going to lose to Carolina, and Carolina was still fighting for a playoff spot. Shit, they're still fighting for the fucking division.
I can't believe that. That's a horrendous
which is
division.
Fucking crazy, right? But we caution it. We're the most reasonable people in this entire situation. How the fuck did that happen?
And then you got Jared Goff bitching about the field conditions. He's like, "Oh, it's like playing on cement." Blah blah blah. Well, both teams had to play on it. Both teams had to play on it, man.
I mean, that's like Michigan crying about rain losing to Michigan State.
Yeah,
You both played the
both had to
fucking
play
rain.
on it.
You both
You know?
played the fucking rain. Shut the fuck up.
right. So when I heard bitch and cry about that, I was like, "Really, dude?" Yeah.
Yeah.
So because the field was like cement, that's why your defense couldn't stop the a 20-25 yard gains damn near every time they ran the ball. Okay.
So you and I have kind of cautioned, and we've given our speeches to Lions fan right now. I'm cautioning them that, listen, you're going to get high again after this win against the Bears. Okay? Then you're probably going to get kicked in the junk when you lose to Green Bay in the end of the year, right? Chris, what is your speech about this team at this point in time? Of other than we agree on they're making progress, and you kind of have to level your emotions out a little bit with this. What would you say
To the team,
to the Lions fans?
to the Lions fans.
Yeah. Other than don't root for the franchise anymore because we've already said that. But based on current knowledge, current time.
I'd say just be realistic. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Eric said, he's more of a realistic Lions fan. Just be realistic. It's we've talked about this for years about unrealistic Michigan fan.
Oh God.
You know?
Yeah.
For years we talked about that.
Well, unrealistic fans in general.
Yes, unrealistic fans, especially Michigan fans because they were some of the fucking worst.
Yeah, really.
But this is what I would say to Lions honks and Lions slappies. Just be realistic. Simple as that. Yeah, you're probably going to beat the Bears. Great. But that game against Green Bay, and shit, you may win it. I don't foresee it happening, but just go into that game with tempered expectations.
Right.
You know?
Because
I know you want it so bad. I get it. But again,
Definitely.
be realistic about it. If they win, that's a bonus. That's a cherry on top. Cool. You might find your way into the playoffs. Great.
But be prepared
Yes.
for the letdown that typically happens when you're a Lions fan. Just be prepared for it, because if this is next year, we might be talking different.
Yes.
This team is still not quite there yet, and you saw that on Sunday. I'm sorry, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
And as Eric said, this has already been a successful season.
Yeah. At
It
this
has
point,
been, because
in
you
time-
actually are taking the proper steps to becoming a sustainable franchise.
I think if anybody would have looked a Lions fan in the eye, beginning of the year, and said, "So what are they? What's their record right now?
7-8.
7-8, right? Okay. If anybody would have said, so say by all accounts, we're going to say they win next week. It's going to be 8-8. I'm going to put them as losing against Green Bay because I'm realistic, more realistic than some people, but I'm also a little bit of a hater. So I really truly believe they're going to lose that game in Green Bay in January. It's tough. It's a tough game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put them at 8-9. If I would have said to any Lions fan before the season started, you're going to go 8-9 and make progress, and you're going to see some pluses. You're going to see some minuses, but you're going to see some pluses,
And have a shot to make the playoffs.
and you're going to be
You're playing meaningful games
Right, you're going to
in
be in the
December,
talks.
January.
Right, you're going to be in the talks into December and January. You're going to be playing meaningful games in December and January. You're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. You won't get it, but you'll be fighting for it. Every single fucking Lions fan would have said, "I'll take that in a heartbeat." Every one of them.
Yep.
Every one of them. But now that it's here, they're greedy. They want more.
Yeah.
They want more.
It's not good enough.
Like
No.
it's and again, I saw a lot of people that were like King Kong beating their chest. We could beat anybody. I'll bring it on. We're gonna beat the whole. I was like, do you listen to yourself? Like, do you think about these things? Like, before you say things, do you hear them out in your head before you say them, or do you just kind of like just go with it? Or when you like type things on social media, do you just kind of like just blindly just close your eyes and type, or do you type it out and then read it and go? Because if you read that, or if you heard it in your head before you said it, you would definitely not hit the send button,
Right.
And you definitely wouldn't hit the send button in your fucking head to send it out your mouth.
I mean, that's generally
Is it
how I write stuff on Twitter as it is.
I mean,
just
that's
blindly
kind of how
type
you
stuff.
That's kind of how you live your life. Actually, you kind of just blurt things out and type them out and just kind of let it fly. So that's why I keep looking at you when I say this, because if you were a Lions fan, that would be you.
I don't know about all that, but
But anyway, before we get off the Lions, Eric, as the Lions fan at the table, and a realistic Lions fan, same as Frank was, what is your take on this team at this point in time? What would you say to the rest of the Lions fans who are being either unrealistic one way or the other? Like being unrealistic at expecting this to be a Super Bowl team, and also being unrealistic where now after they lost to Carolina, they're calling for heads to roll. It's like I even heard for Aaron Glenn to be fired. Like this team, they won 6 out of the last 7, 6 out of the last 8 now. One bad game from that defense, and Aaron Glenn needs to be fired again. Where were you the last 7 games before this, where the defense was actually top 10 in the league? Now all of a sudden one bad game and Aaron Glenn needs to be fired. See those I don't understand that. Why are you so all over the board here?
It doesn't make any sense, and it's like you see other teams in the league, they're going to have a bad game. Buffalo's had a bad game, at least one, I think 2.
They've had
They
several.
were actually really bad.
Well, they've had several bad games, and if you're talking about like Super Bowl contenders, Kansas City's had some bad games. Buffalo's had some bad games. Who's the Philadelphia? They've had some bad games.
Yeah.
That first game of the year to Detroit was not good.
No.
I mean, they've had some bad games. Now, their record is better than most, but they've had some bad games. So, good teams can overcome bad performances.
right.
Buffalo can overcome that.
If
Kansas
there's
City can
real
overcome it.
progress, we'll overcome, this. Yeah, this probably lost a playoff spot for us. Even to win out, even though I know you guys are picking Green Bay to whip their ass in 2 weeks. I don't think it's
I didn't say
gonna
whip their
happen.
ass. I didn't say whip their ass. I do think they will win that game. I do think Green Bay will win that game at home in Green Bay in January. It's a tough go.
Oh, it is, definitely.
It's a very tough go. And from the Detroit team that, listen, Liquid finds its level, right?
Yep.
Liquid found its level on Saturday.
now see the funny thing about this is if that game was meaningless, I think the Lions would absolutely win that game. I do, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
The Green Bay game?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, like you've seen it.
Yeah.
How many times? Like we can actually get a better draft pick if we lose this game. Now we're gonna win it. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. However, you know who does stay winning?
Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank.
That's right. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546. There you go. Yes. So, from that, I do want to touch on this Dolphins. Who the fuck did they just play? Sorry. I'm trying to blank.
Green Bay?
Green Bay, that's
Yeah.
right, yes.
The team that's going to
Yes,
beat Detroit in the end of the year.
I do want to touch on that because you saw that game, and then obviously the concussion with Tua.
So that game I did see, and I didn't see. See, this is where I'm confused.
Yeah.
Yes, he's in concussion protocol right now.
Yeah.
Never got taken out of that game.
Yeah.
Nope.
Never was pulled to the sideline to be
No.
evaluated.
Nope.
But all of a sudden after the game, he's in concussion protocol.
Did you
'Kay.
see? Did you see the hit that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he smacked his head off the back on the ground.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Oh yeah, the back of his head. Oh, absolutely.
Damn. This kid might not make it another year, man.
And you saw it in that second half. He threw 3 picks, and he just looked like
He did. He looked off.
he looked really off.
So everyone wants to say, "Oh, see, I told you to. It sucked." Okay, that if you saw the two halves of that game, which this is one of the games where I actually did watch the whole game, beginning to end. That first half compared to that second half, he was off.
Oh, absolutely, he was. Yeah.
Way off.
Yeah. No, 100% he was off.
And if you look at one of those interceptions was a hot route where I think it was Mostert didn't even see the football coming.
Nope.
He was supposed to, as the hot receiver, he was actually supposed to stop and turn and didn't. He just kept running. That one not really on Tua, but the other two were very bad throws, bad reads, just off. And he hasn't really been that way this year.
He hasn't. And after that, I remember seeing that hit and going, "Ay." And I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, they're not even gonna look at him?
See, I didn't even see it.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even see it. Didn't notice it.
I'm like,
But now he's in concussion protocol.
and he's probably not gonna play this week.
I would say he's probably not. I mean, if he's had this is his third one of the year that we
all
know
of them the same way.
That we
know
know
about.
of.
And all of them
The same way, falling
backwards, smacking the back of his head on the ground. Yeah,
And people could say all they want. That first one, oh, this is back. No, come on. We were talking about being realistic,
yeah.
dude. That was not
Be realistic.
Stop it.
That was a concussion.
That was absolutely a concussion.
So I'm going with he's had 3 this year now, and
Yes,
that's not good.
it isn't good. And I mean, we've seen players pulled out of a game for less than that.
Oh, much less.
Yeah.
And especially now you're looking at Tua, who has 2 bad ones, and you're not going to even look at him?
Yeah.
How did nobody notice this? How did nobody see this?
Well, and that's what I'm thinking right now. Now, I didn't, but I was watching at home. I was actually laying on my couch. I was, I was paying attention, but I guess not well enough.
Yeah.
I didn't see the hit, but
It wasn't a dirty hit or anything.
no, but I mean, typically I pick up on those
Yeah.
things, and I didn't see it, but you clearly did, and for them to not have checked him out at some point, it's alarming to me.
Yeah, you could see it, like just flat on his back, and he smacked the back of his head off the ground. It was just like, "Ee." And just for nobody to take a look at it was kind of odd to me. But then you saw what
It is
happened in the
odd.
second half, and it was just like,
You're like, well,
okay, now this might explain some things.
somebody might be seeing 22 guys out there right now.
Yeah. So
You know, a Tua, you're only supposed to have there's only supposed to be 10 other of your teammates out there with you right now.
Right,
How many
exactly.
are you seeing?
exactly.
Because if you're seeing more than 10 other guys in the same jersey, you got a problem right now. So I think there was an issue there for sure.
There was. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. I'm sure he's going to come back the last game of the season, and
What-
obviously their playoff.
And watch-
'cause they're in danger of missing the playoffs now.
They are. And watching them play, it was funny how I'm sitting there watching it going, man, what the fuck happened? Like, this is just not the same guy or the same team from the first half. And then hearing about the concussion afterwards, hearing about he might have sustained it in the first half or whatever, or whatever. And then hearing you say you saw it, it kind of makes sense at this point.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was. So I'm curious, and they've lost 4 in a row now, and they're dropping like a rock now. They may miss the playoffs. I mean, they're in
might.
as of right now.
As of right now, they are. But
Listen,
listen,
in
you
all
get,
seriousness, too, they should probably sit 2 of the rest of the year after that. 3?
I mean-
think about it. 3? Like, this
you're
guy's
actually-
going to seriously have brain damage. Like, you're going to
I
ruin this
know.
guy's life.
right, and that's where I'm at right now. Is I actually like fuck football. This dude's gonna end up dying on a football
Yeah.
field.
Because
Like, it's bad.
Well, you got to figure you get 3 in 1 year, and then if he takes another like bad one, I may.
Well, he was advised after the last one that
Right.
he shouldn't play anymore
Right.
by a neurologist.
That's. In all honesty, it's up to him. If he wants to keep playing,
It is, and I really at this point, if I was in this guy's family, truly, I would tell him it's not worth it, man.
No.
It's not worth it. Stop.
Well, it's like, I don't understand. Like you said, it happened in the first half. Like,
so
you don't say anything.
Right, you went through
You can't tell
halftime.
me you feel fine.
like you went through halftime, didn't do anything.
Well,
and
that's-
then nothing.
Well, and that's where none of these guys are going to say.
No.
None of these guys want to come out of the game. They're not going to say. But that's where you are supposed to have protocols in place. You're supposed to have independent neurologists on the sidelines, up in the booths to see and call out things like that. We've seen it in other games. I know. I've seen it. They've called down and stopped a play from happening because the play before, they reviewed it and saw a guy get hit in the head. They're like, no, get him off the field.
There was one earlier with the St. Brown that he got yanked from the
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
That didn't look even remotely as bad as the one
Yep.
the Tua just had.
Yep.
And he was gone for the entire rest of the game. And I
Yep.
think he had to sit out the next one, didn't he?
No, he was.
Did he come back the second?
he
Okay.
came back the next game because he didn't end up having a concussion.
Oh, that's
so
right. Yeah, okay.
They pulled him out. They determined that he had the signs of.
Right. But so he had to sit out the rest of that game.
But he
which
sat out
was
the-
like early, it was like in the first half when that happened.
Yep. But I've seen it quite a few times. There was one game. It was either last week or the week before. They literally called down and stopped. Like they were about to snap the ball. Referee stopped the game. Went over to one of the players on the field who was getting ready to be in that play and started walking him off to the sideline because they saw something. Somebody independently saw something from the play before him. We're like, nope, go check him out. Go make sure he's all right. Now, if that's happening, it should happen. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to have guys sitting out that don't have concussions because you're taking away their livelihood and you're keeping them from getting stats and helping their team out and getting a bigger paycheck later on. You know what I mean? You're stopping a lot of things. But if you can at least have them checked out, if they have a hit like that, well, why didn't that happen this time? Well, especially with a guy who's already had 2 this year and started the whole problem with not being taken out with a concussion. Basically, all the new protocols they have for that are because of him.
Right. No, it's silly. That's when all this stuff became like, oh yeah, now we gotta. We talked about it when it happened. We talked about maybe they're overreacting to this a little bit or whatever. But when you got a guy that's had 2 of them, and I'm sorry, he's had 2 of them. Like once you want to say it was a back thing,
And this is a third.
this is a third. You might want to treat that guy, a little bit like of a more important case. Maybe I don't know. But
Well, if they don't, I saw the hit last night. Was it Derwin James?
yeah,
Oh,
He hit that dude so hard he got him. He gave himself a
yes,
concussion.
he did.
Did you see him get up, try to get up and wobbled?
Oh, yeah.
And then tried to after he was like nobody was paying attention other than like the camera kind of caught him wobbling several times, and then he tried to walk it off like he was hurt and he tried to like limp a little bit like it was his leg. Nah, dude. First of all, they're probably going to eject you for that hit you just gave, which they did.
they did.
They did.
Which they did. Second of all, you gave yourself a concussion, bro. That was bad.
Yeah.
Like if they don't cut down on some of these things, I don't want to see. I'm in the middle on this. I don't want to see them take away hitting because it's football. I don't want to see them like right now. I feel quarterbacks might as well put on a skirt.
Yeah.
To me that's just insane. But some of these hits, if they don't take some of this away and they don't actually have these independent neurologists on the sideline actually seeing these things and pulling these players off the field like Tua should have been on Sunday, somebody's going to die on the football field.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. And I'm probably being grotesque by telling people that. It's going to happen.
It's almost I don't want to say it's a certainty, but it kind of is because you see how much bigger and faster and stronger these guys get every year.
That's the whole thing is genetically they are much bigger, much faster, much stronger, much harder hitting athletes than they have been over the course of the NFL. If they can't cut down on this somehow, and I don't want the overreaction of taking guys out of the game that don't need to be taken out, but you got to find a middle ground there, and you got to find a way to cut down on these hits, because just that hit I saw last night was one where when I saw that, I went, that's gonna be the type of hit that kills somebody one day.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna literally get knocked dead.
Brain dead.
Yeah. It's disturbing, but
It
it's
is.
the truth.
It is. But I hate to say that's a fact, but I believe we're trending in that direction if something isn't done. Like, I agree with you. I don't want to see hitting taken out of the game, because then what's the point?
Yeah.
But it's got to be curtailed a little bit.
Not
anyway.
professional flag football, please.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No. And I don't think any of us want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But I also know that none of us want to see a player die on the football field either.
No.
I don't
Like-
obviously.
I love watching the NFL. I love seeing big hits. I don't like seeing the hit I saw last night, though. Like, that's the type of hit where back in the day when I was a kid, I would have been like, oh, that's
yeah.
great, that's great.
Right.
Now I see it and I go, oh, God. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Even me, who's a football fan, I see that and I instantly cringe and go, oh, Dad. First of all, that's a penalty. First of all,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Second of all, Jesus, somebody's going to die.
No doubt.
You can't. You got to take that kind of stuff out of the game.
Any
Really
other
do.
game that
Oh, well.
piqued your interest?
Well, we could talk about a few games. So there's the game that finally got my arch nemesis fired.
Oh yeah.
So now,
Yeah, your boy.
now I have to find a new arch nemesis.
Your boy.
It's funny how every time I hate a coach so badly, they get fired. Like I'm ahead of the curve
Yeah.
on deciding when these coaches are just so fucking bad they don't deserve a job. And then within a year, sometimes within the same year, because he just got hired this last year.
Yeah, he did.
After game one, I was like, this is my new Adam Gase. I fucking can't. This guy is awful. He's Did I not? After the first game, I was like, this guy's
You did.
fucking
100%
awful.
you did.
This guy is
Absolutely.
fucking awful.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
And I've said it every day since then. They let him go because the guy was fucking bad at his job.
He was.
So bad at his
There's
job.
some guys that are meant to be like assistant coaches,
Yep.
and that's a guy that's meant to be an assistant coach. Like, you're not meant to be a head guy.
You're just not.
You're not. You don't got it, man.
You don't. And that was, talk about news I was glad to see. That was one where I was like, yes. The only thing is now I got to find a new Adam Nagy.
Well, I'm sure you look hard enough. I'm sure you'll find one.
That's I went
Josh
to,
McDaniels?
So I went yeah, right. Listen, it's not a bad one, but see, I don't hate him that much. I mean, he's an idiot, but it's weird. I just
Kevin Stefanski?
I'm borderline on it. Yeah, yeah. So speaking of that,
Yeah.
this guy is just fucking.
yeah.
He might be the next one that I have that much hatred for, and I've tried not to have that much hatred for him because he coaches my team.
And that's a bad Saints team.
It's a bad Saints team. They're a bad Browns team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
And so we'll go from Russell Wilson, who gets paid way too much money for what he's doing right now.
I saw the money he's got left on that deal. Holy shit.
So let's the money he's got left on that deal. We go from Russell Wilson, who is really just fucking bad, right? He's just not
Terrible.
good. He's not good.
I want
right?
to see what he does without Nathaniel Hackett. I don't think it matters.
No.
That might be one of no. First of all, that's not going to happen. But that might be one of the worst trades I've ever seen in my like that.
It's looking that way.
So 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick, 3 players, $165 million guaranteed is what the Broncos all gave up for Russell Wilson. Like I'm gonna say that one more time.
Now, I want to say when this trade went down, I do believe I took to Twitter. I'm like, no, this is a terrible trade.
I said the same thing. There is a Broncos fan who works with us, Terrence.
Oof.
And I dogged that trade originally when it happened. He was actually in the building same time I was when the trade happened, and I dogged it. And he's like, no, it's going to turn out to be great. I don't care. They give up 3 players. Who cares? Those players suck. They give up picks. Who cares? We got Russell Wilson. We got a good defense. I'm like, bro, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, this all looks bad to me. I just don't see it playing out very well. But in my defense, I said the same thing about my own team when they made the trade for Deshaun Watson because he gave up too much. And I said, I don't see this playing out very well. They traded for him. Then they gave him $230 million guaranteed. Not even 165. My team went. Oh, you gave Russell Wilson $165 million guaranteed. Hold my beer.
Yeah,
we're going to give our guy $230 million guaranteed.
And a guy who's cooked.
A guy who, listen.
No pun intended.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. A guy who. I got nothing. I want to tell you this guy's stats right now. Okay.
Yes.
And I just want to throw them out there. I know you're a big stats guy, Chris. So I want to throw these out there.
Oh, if it's like stats about Russell Wilson being terrible, I'm all ears, man.
This is stats about my quarterback.
Oh,
my
okay,
team being
I'm
terrible.
all for that too because I don't like that fucking guy either. So
yeah,
bring it.
He's got a 69.3 rating.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. Because this guy would have a 69 rating, right?
Of course he does. 100%.
He probably paid for that 69 as well. Or he might not have paid for it. You might have another case pending. Anyway.
Hasn't paid for it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. He has thrown for 175 yards per game. He's got 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 8 sacks.
Okay.
So, and a 57.7% completion percentage.
Guess $230 million doesn't get you what it used to.
No.
No. And another one where I'm gonna pat myself on the back a little bit. Chris, what did I say about the Russell Wilson or about the Watson trade when it happened? And what have I been saying ever since then?
You weren't a fan of it.
No.
Not at all.
And I try to tell people when he comes back this year, at least this year he wasn't going to be good. Everyone's like, of course he is. He went to 3 Pro Bowls with Houston. He's this and that, and he's this and that. I'm like, he hasn't played in 2 fucking years.
I think we had a whole show about that.
Yes.
That we literally were like, dude, he's been on football for almost 3 years. Like, the game, this is how quickly the NFL changes.
But do you
Yeah.
Browns fans are finally starting to turn.
Oh, really?
On this guy, though.
Oh, really?
So here's one of the comments I saw on a Browns social media page. Why does Gardner Minshew look way better than our $240 million douche? Okay, that's okay. First of all, $230 million. So just you overpaid him $10 million in your statement. But anyway, yeah, I would agree with that.
It's not why. He does look better than your.
Oh my God! They're starting to turn on him. Like they're starting to come out and really. That's just one of them that I screenshotted. I didn't screenshot them all. But that's just. And this person, I've seen this person on Cleveland Browns social media before.
Yeah,
and
you're an admin, right?
Very much. But we won't get into that. He's very much. You're a douche. Speaking of douches, Chris.
Thanks, man.
This guy is very much pro Browns, pro team, like back in the team. But like even he now is like you're paying this guy all this money, and he's come out in 4 games now, and he's been fucking bad. And it's like, all right, now you've got people turning on the coach as well. Oh, wait,
Which that should happen.
Which when should that have happened, Chris?
Yeah,
How long ago did that happen for me? I think it was last year. Actually.
It really was.
So now they're on him saying, why is he throwing the ball so much when we have Nick Chubb and a good offensive line? Does that sound familiar, Chris?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe I've heard that before.
I believe you have, actually, yeah. I believe I say that every fucking week.
Pretty much.
Even when Brissett was in there and Stefanski thought he was going to outsmart teams by throwing it more than he should have.
Right.
It's Jacoby Brisket, you
There
dumbass.
you go, Brisket.
You have Nick Chubb and a top 5 offensive line. Right. What are you fucking doing? You know what you're doing? You're alienating your fucking team. You know why they had to bench Myles Garrett this last week?
Because I didn't know they did. They
did. They benched him for the first. I think it was the first series of the game. They benched Myles Garrett because he spoke out against the defense and against the team. You know why? Because he doesn't agree with what the fuck is happening there. You know why? Because what the fuck is happening there is stupid, and even he knows it. But yet he gets benched because he spoke out against it. Man, first of all, your defensive coordinator needs to be fired. Second of all, you need to show yourself the fucking door because you're a bad head coach. You might have been a good offensive coordinator, but like Chris said, some offensive coordinators don't need to be head coaches. You're one of them. Get the fuck out of town. God, I can't stand this guy.
I think
I can't stand him. I can't stand the coaching staff. Their decision-making process was trading for Watson was stupid as hell. Said it at the time, and it's turning out to be true within the first fucking 4 games he's played.
Yeah.
And if you're paying a guy that much money, you can't go out and get more players to put around him to make the team better. So what are you going to do? You're strapped now. You're paying him $230 million. How are you going to go get better players to put around him? You can't. Good. Enjoy this. Enjoy this mediocrity because it's gonna be there for another 4 or 5 years.
And the cap's going to go up because of TV money.
Yeah, but it doesn't go up that much.
It's still not going to go up to the point where you're going to have the financial flexibility to get better players around him.
Back to Russell Wilson for a second. You want to see I want to read you this trade that almost happened that didn't happen.
Okay.
Russell Wilson to the Bears.
Okay.
The Bears were going to trade Roquan Smith,
All right.
which they already traded.
Yep.
They got a draft pick for him anyway, but they were going to trade Roquan Smith, Justin Fields, a 2022 second-round pick, a 2023 first-round pick, and a 2023 second-round pick.
The Bears were going to do this?
The Bears were going to do this. Talk about dodging a fucking bullet
Yeah, no
there.
doubt.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
They were going to give up 2 firsts, a second, Justin Fields, and Roquan Smith.
Oh, man. Now, as much as I would have loved to have seen that happen because my cousin's wife is a huge Bears fan, and I would just laugh. I would literally I would send like a laughing emoji at her or something like that, or a GIF or something like that. I'm like, "Your front office? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, really?"
I talk about dodging a bullet right there, bud. That was that's
Yeah,
oof.
they definitely dodged that bullet, 100%.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
I have a question for both of you.
okay.
Talking about Wilson, quarterback Wilson. Let's talk about another quarterback Wilson.
Okay.
So we got Russell Wilson,
Yes.
who is at this point is, I think we can all fairly say that was the worst trade we've seen in NFL history at this point, right?
Yes.
It's
100%.
it's definitely up there. It's in the conversation 100%.
Are we at the same time seeing the worst number 1 or first round quarterback drafted with the same last name? Like, is he the worst quarterback drafted in the first round at this point? Is he up there in the conversation? Because I say he's up there in the conversation.
He's in the conversation because I mean, when you talk about guys
Zach
like
Wilson,
that, yeah.
by the way.
When you talk about guys like that, you have to put him in there. Obviously, you got to put Jamarcus in there.
So let's
Andre Ware, you have to throw in there.
Andre Ware. So to me, Jamarcus Russell is the worst.
Okay.
Right? It's either him or Ryan Leaf.
Ryan Leaf, that's another. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Ryan
another-
Leaf is a big one.
God,
If you want to look at Jamarcus Russell though, so Jamarcus Russell went 7-15. Okay, through 22 career starts, 7-15. Zach Wilson is 8-14. He has 1 game better. Passer rating, Zach Wilson 70.9, and Jamarcus Russell 70.8.
oh, Jesus.
Passing TDs, Jamarcus 16, Zach Wilson 15. Yards per attempt, 6.44 for Zach to 6.34 for Jamarcus. Basically, they're the same guy, only different colors. That's it. Same guy. Same stats. The exact same.
Yeah, why do I feel like Zach Wilson will get chances? Multiple.
Yeah.
Well, we know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. He shouldn't.
I don't disagree. And then you got his mom saying, "Oh, he's bad because the Jets fans are toxic." I'm like, it's not their fault. Your kid fucking sucks.
I did see that. I saw your comment.
Like, what the fuck?
This is so random. On Facebook, all of a sudden, I see this article come up that says Zach Wilson's mom is talking shit about the New York Jets fan base, and I'm like, why is this popping on my news feed? The only comment I see there is your comment that says, "It's not their fault. Your son sucks." Oh my God.
Like, what the hell, man? Yeah, your kid's terrible because the fan base is toxic. Stop it. Like, your kid sucks because he just sucks. He's not good. And we talked about this when he got drafted, and the minute he got drafted, I'm like, nope. Nope. I'm like, this guy ain't it.
Yep, you were very much on that one.
I was like, this guy ain't
I wasn't
it.
far behind you, but I wasn't as on top of it as you were.
Like, it's one thing to like, yeah, he's got a big arm or whatever, and that's great. But like when nobody's covering defenders, or defenders aren't covering your receivers, or you just want to show how far you can throw the ball, cool, man, cool. Yeah. And then you got to look at it this way too. He was at BYU, but you put him in the SEC or the Big Ten or the ACC. Like that guy that was open at BYU is not going to be open in the SEC or the Big Ten or the ACC
Or the NFL.
or the NFL. And he thinks he can make that throw because he does have a cannon for an arm.
Right.
It's like, well, yeah, you can have a cannon for an arm, and that's great. But if you can't read defenses,
Right.
that window is like as big or whatever as it was in college. Yeah, it's at like a quarter of the size in the NFL, dude. Like they're just everybody's fast, everybody, and you see it. He's from get go. I'm like, nope, this guy ain't it. But I'll take my win when I get it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we get a lot wrong. We got to pat ourselves in the back
That's
when
right.
we get some shit right.
That's right.
Any other games you guys want to talk about? I mean, the Jags.
Yeah, man, they're bringing it.
The Jags are I mean, they put it down on the Jets.
They did.
It was a 19-3. Basically, this week doesn't matter for them or Tennessee.
Is that right?
This is a rare occasion where week 17, 16th game, doesn't matter for either one of those teams because whoever wins next week wins that division. Doesn't matter if either one of them win this week because Jacksonville holds that division right now. Even if Tennessee wins this week and Jacksonville loses, if Jacksonville beats them next week, they tie for records and Jacksonville still wins the division because they will have won the head-to-head matchup with them. So this week for either one of them doesn't matter. Other than trying to keep pace and maybe you can get a wild card if you don't win your division, depending on how the other teams around you play out, you possibly could still do that. But as far as winning that division, this week matters nothing to them. And there's even talks of both those teams sitting guys to be healthy for the last week and just playing for the division, not even playing for a wild card spot, possible wild card spot.
Wow.
There's talks of both those teams sitting their guys and just playing next week and getting it over.
I think that might be the most vanilla game ever.
that it's to me
That's going to look like a Pro Bowl game.
Ooh.
Like I think that's what it's going to
Yeah.
look like. I think it's going to look like
That's
a Pro
not
Bowl game.
good.
see to me I don't agree with sitting your players at that point in time.
No, I don't think they're going to sit them.
especially with Jacksonville though.
Right.
Like with Jacksonville,
You're hot right now.
Like you're a young team. You're playing well right now.
Right.
Like you're hot. You've got some wins under your belt recently. You're going to be playing for a division. Like you don't want to tip the apple cart. Like you don't want to do that. You don't want to screw anything up. Don't screw up momentum. It'd be the same thing that I would say with the Lions because I feel like those two teams are kind of on the same level at this point. They're building something. They have a possibility to make the playoffs. Like you don't want to do anything to screw that up. You don't want to do anything to screw up your momentum. Play your guys. Don't sit anybody. Don't do that.
I agree.
No, I think they will play their guys, but I'm talking like schemes or strategies
right,
or
yeah,
whatever. It's going to be very vanilla because I think they will end up playing their guys because you can't not play them.
Well, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, man, how could you even do that? And
Yeah.
like, I understand if it's the last week of the season and you already made the playoffs. And you're like, all right, we're gonna rest some guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But to rest them in week 17 because you have a big game in week 18 to try and make the playoffs, and then like you're it's too many stops and starts. Like you're playing your guys, you're fighting for it, and then you're like, all right, we're gonna rest you guys this week. The next week, big game, guys. We're gonna rest you this week, big game next week.
And you got to get up for
And
it.
then you got to get up for it, and
Right.
then if you win that, and when you make the playoffs,
Yeah,
then
turn the NFL into the NBA.
Well, yeah, right, yeah.
Load management, baby.
Like what? No, man, you can't do that in the NFL.
No.
You just can't.
Load management. Well, obviously we're talking about getting in the playoffs. Do you want to talk about the college football playoff since that is coming up
Yes,
this
that
weekend?
is this weekend.
Georgia, Ohio State
Playoffs.
first. Georgia, Ohio
Talking
State
about
first.
playoffs?
Playoffs, yeah.
Playoffs?
Playoffs. Yeah, we'll do Georgia, Ohio State first. We're obviously going to do this in our picks, and we got a lot of picks today, by the way, Eric. We
a
have
lot.
a lot of picks.
There's a lot.
So I've seen this line fluctuate since obviously the matchup was announced. I've seen it go as high as 9. I've seen it. I think it's at 7 right now.
Ohio
Favorite.
State, Georgia.
Yeah, I believe
that-
Georgia's laying 7.
Georgia's minus on mine. It's minus 6.5 right now.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I think on our picks, I think it's at 7 right now.
Okay.
So Obviously, depending on what sportsbook you go to, you're probably going to get different odds. And I was talking about this on Sunday with Lady Friend's brother, who is a Buckeye fan. He is of the opinion that Ohio State's going to get murdered in this game. And I said, no, they're not going to get murdered in this game. I think it's going to be an incredibly close game. I think Georgia wins,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be a close game. I really do.
I think it's going to be close most of the game. I'm not going to give away my pick for later on, but I think maybe Georgia could win by the 6.5 or 7, but it doesn't mean that's going to be a blowout. It means they could get a late score to go up that amount. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
This game kind of reminds me of I think it was 2015 when Ohio State played Alabama, and everybody was like, Alabama's going to roll this team. And Ohio State won.
Right.
Like, it kind of has a little bit of a flavor of that game. So
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I would love for them to win. because if Michigan wins, that means it would be Michigan versus Ohio State for the national championship game.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, at that point in time, they might as well just shut down college football after that game happens. because
nothing will ever top it.
You will never have anything top that ever again.
Nope.
Never.
That's true.
If the national championship game is decided between Michigan and Ohio State this year, shut it down. Stop. Just no longer have college football. You'll never get better than that. No matter who wins that game, you'll never get better than that. That will be the highest rated game you will ever see. Ever.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that.
Yeah.
It's especially in college. I mean, do you think it would outrating a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yep.
But like I said, I kind of see that the Ohio State Georgia game playing out that way. Like I said, I think Georgia ultimately will win. I do agree with you on I could see like a late field goal or touchdown or some whatever to make it to like cover the spread or whatever. But
Right. They're up by like 4.
Yeah.
And they get a late touchdown to make it, above that 6.5, 7 points, whatever it is. But or they're up by 5. And they take a late field goal just to make it 8. Kind of try to put it out of the way. I can see something like that happening to make it above that spread, but still a close game.
Now, as for the Michigan TCU game, again, this is at 8. That one's at 8.
No, Michigan TCU is. Oh, that one. The Ohio State Georgia's at 8. Michigan TCU.
No, the spread.
Oh, it's at 7.5 where I have it.
All right, I think on our picks, I think we have it at 8. But again, whatever sportsbook you go to, it's going to be a different odds. Whatever.
It's fluctuating.
To me, this one's simple. If Michigan can run the ball like they have the past, I don't know, half the season, they're going to win.
To me, there's two aspects to it. There's that, and there's containing a running quarterback.
Yes.
Which Michigan notoriously does not do. So there's both those things. They have to excel at both those things. Do I think they can do it? Yes. But it's a two-headed monster for Michigan, in my opinion. Michigan is the favorite for a reason. But those are the two things Michigan has to do in order to win that game: is they have to contain a rushing quarterback, which they have trouble. They've notoriously had trouble doing that, and they have to run the ball. I think one's an easy accomplishment. They run the ball well. They run the ball better than anybody else in college football, almost. Right?
They're up there.
Yeah, they're definitely up there. Yeah.
So, I think the it comes down to two things, and one of them is definitely running the ball. The other one is containing the running quarterback, containing their mobile quarterback.
I'm curious to see how they do this defensively. If they do just kind of like a zone.
I would honestly do a zone with a shadow,
like a spy.
Yeah, with a shadow on them, with a spy on them. I think you can win the game and limit yardage, limit their big plays by doing that. It depends though. Even if you play man, you can still have a spy. You know what I mean? Like you can still have somebody designated a spy.
Yeah. No, I think it's a pretty simple breakdown because I think that's all it requires. I don't think there's really much that is going to go into it. It's like you said, if they run the ball and you're not going to stop the running quarterback. You're not. You contain him?
Contain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you have to contain him. Like you can't let him beat you.
Like make him have to throw the ball to beat you.
Yeah. So which means as a defense you have to be very disciplined.
Yes.
Like your outside your DNs can't pinch in too fast.
Nope.
You have to round that out. You have to keep him contained. You can't lose your gaps as the defense and let him run up the middle. You have to contain your gaps. You have to be very disciplined and play disciplined football. And that's how you contain a mobile quarterback. And you basically rely on pressuring within that realm of keeping your contain and allowing your DBs and your linebackers to make the bigger plays. You want to contain the quarterback. You want to get some pressure on him, but within that aspect of what you're doing. Like, you don't want to play outside your scheme and let him get around you. Let him get up the middle. Play contained football. Get as much pressure as you can with the front four. Let your linebackers and your DBs make the plays. That's what you want to do.
Now, before we move on to something else, J.J. Watt retired today, which I caught it earlier this afternoon. Now, simple question. Is he a Hall of Famer or not?
Yes.
Okay. First ballot?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. I wouldn't say first ballot, but I do think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the years he had, what was it, 2011, 12, 13, 14,
I mean, he's got,
15?
3 Defensive Player of the Years?
Yeah. I mean, he was every bit of Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald. I mean, this guy, he was dominant. Well, he was one of the best defensive players to ever play the game during his prime.
Yeah.
I would say, he's a Hall of Famer.
And it's a shame the amount of injuries he had in his career. I'm assuming that's a work thing.
Yeah.
Even when you're gone, you're not gone.
They called me 3 times last week. Already first day back this week, he's calling me once. Holy Christ. All right. Oh.
Nice.
Anyway.
Told you the fun never stops.
It doesn't ever fucking stop. What were we talking about? I just had to show you.
We were
'cause
talking about,
I had to. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I had to show you the name on there.
J.J.
Oh,
Watt.
man.
Yeah, J.J. Watt.
Yes.
Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I do.
You posed the question.
I do. I think he gets in. I don't think he gets in first ballot. I think without the injuries, he's a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. Because he lost a lot of games.
Oh, yeah.
And big injuries too. Not like, nagging things or whatever. These were like legit.
I feel like it kind of runs in the family too, because his brother
Yeah.
TJ has had some pretty nice, some pretty.
You kidding me?
No.
He's persistent.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer, just not first ballot. Eric, what?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely not first ballot, but I think he should be in too.
I mean,
So
I have
he was a
to.
hell of a player for a long time, and with the injuries he's had, he came back and he was still dominant when he came back after.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I don't know if you guys watched any of the game the other day.
They played Tampa. I saw some of it.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah, I saw
whole
some of
first
it.
half, dude, he was wrecking them.
Really?
Just him. Stopped them for the one whole series. They didn't get a yard.
Wow. No, I didn't see much. I didn't see much of that game. I saw a little bit of it, but I was in and out of it.
So I was a little surprised to see he retired. But then they're not playing for anything. Why get hurt again? You got 2 games left.
No, and that head coach sucks.
He does.
He might be my new one.
Oh, Kingsbury?
Yeah.
Uncle
You
Cliff?
sound
might-
very undecided. That's the
I might-
3rd or 4th one you've named.
I know.
now,
Well,
too.
so there's a few potential ones out there, but like the way it works for me when you become head coach in the NFL, enemy number 1 of me, it just jumps off the page where you did something that is just, I'm just like, I fucking can't stand you, and I am not gonna stop dogging you every chance I get until you get fired. It's happened with Adam Gase,
Oh, yeah.
Matt Nagy,
Oh, yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett, like Matt Patricia, like
The list goes on, baby.
there's a list, and I was right on all of them.
Now, you know who you should not fire?
At your service by Pat.
That's right. Looking to brighten up your home or commercial building? Give At Your Service by Pat a call today at 248-794-0008 for your free estimate. At Your Service by Pat specializes in home and commercial building cleaning. Services include roof and house cleaning featuring soft wash, which is a longer-lasting alternative to pressure washing. They also offer window cleaning, concrete cleaning, deck and fence restoration, gutter services, and more. So call At Your Service by Pat today for your free estimate at 248-794-0008. There you go. I was waiting for the Let's Go Buffalo.
I know you were. That's why I didn't play it.
Nice.
All right. else do we have, boys?
I mean, not a whole lot, honestly.
No?
No, other than the picks, because we got like a million of them.
Got a million pay. All right, you want to just get into the picks then?
Might as well.
All right.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
It's time!
I think we had, 24, I think I counted?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Got a bunch of bowl games to do, man. So we'll do what we left off the schedule from last week. Is that Wisconsin?
The Wisconsin,
Yeah.
it was the Wisconsin.
What is it tonight? Is the
Yeah,
game
it's
tonight?
I think it's
Yeah.
going on. It's
Or is
going
it
on right
tomorrow
now.
No,
night?
play. They play tonight at 10:15, I believe.
Okay. It's the.
That's why we didn't put it in last week's picks.
Right. So we got Wisconsin laying 3.5, taking on Oklahoma State in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl.
Give me Oklahoma State in that one. I think that's what I was going to take last week too, but yeah, give me Oklahoma State.
Joe, I'm with you. I'm rolling with
Yep.
OK State. Oh, by the way, how do we do in picks last week?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Before
Sorry.
we move on.
Before we move on, yeah. So last week, I was 6-11.
Ooh.
Actually, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I was 6-11, 6-11-1. Eric, you were 7-10-1, and Chris, you were 10-7-1. So, two of us didn't do well. You did all right.
I'll take it.
That's what she said. So, my overall record is 100, 110, and 6. Eric, yours is 87, 100, and 6. Neither one of us are very good. Chris, you are 107, 103, and 6.
Yeah, baby. I'll take
You're
that.
above 500, right?
I'll take it.
But with juice, you'd still be down. But
Yeah.
you're better shape than we are.
Fair enough. Eric, did you take Oklahoma State?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Next up on the slate, the big slate.
Got a big slate.
That's right. We have
She said.
UCF taking on Duke. Duke is laying 3.5 in the Military Bowl.
Give me UCF.
I will also take UCF.
Dong.
Caught that.
Dong.
I'm going to roll with Duke in this one.
Dookie.
Yes.
I am appalled
You should be appalled.
that nobody has ever taken a shit on your
my
chest. No one has ever taken a Duke on your chest.
Dookie.
If you've seen that movie out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, and you're some people out there are probably just really appalled. Whoa, there you go. Some of the people out there are just really appalled at what I just said, but it's from a movie, folks. I'm not just a sicko. It's from a movie.
So when I did this list, I didn't see a spread on it. So
Okay.
maybe it has a spread now.
Which one?
It's the Kansas-Arkansas game. Does that have a spread now?
Yep. Arkansas is -2.5.
Okay.
So you might want to throw that in there.
I'm going to now.
Okay.
Yes. Arkansas 2.5?
Arkansas is -2.5. Yep.
Okay.
Give me Arkansas. Or your Kansas. Somebody's Kansas. Give me Arkansas.
Yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll with Kansas.
Alicia goes, nah, you're just a sicko. You know what, Alicia? I don't appreciate that. One bit.
It's harsh.
Not one
I just
fucking
kept
bit.
my mouth shut, but I gave you the head nod.
You knew what movie I was talking about.
Oh, I did. We've had that. We've talked about that movie recently.
Yes, we have, actually.
That exact line.
Nice.
She says, love you, Joe. Love you too, Alicia. That was still mean to say, though. At least I'm funny. I got that going for me.
Yeah.
Maybe a sicko, but I'm funny.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hello, lady. I don't have the drop on the screen. I can't play it. Hello, lady.
Are you rolling with Arkansas? Your Kansas?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay.
Oh, are we all going with Kansas?
No, I'm taking Kansas.
You're taking?
No, he took-
You're
took-
taking?
I'm taking Kansas.
He got rid of the R.
Yes. I'm taking Kansas.
I love how my stupidity rubs off on
It's
you when you say
amazing.
something wrong.
It's amazing. See the shit I got to deal with on a weekly basis? It's fucking amazing.
Tooken.
I'm taking Kansas.
Isn't that the next movie that Liam Neeson's going to make? Instead
Took it.
Took
Tooken. Like, how many times can somebody get taken? Like, what the fuck are we doing
How
here?
many times can your people get taken? Their whole family gets taken.
Amazing.
Now they get taken.
Tooken. That's right. Next up, we got Oregon laying 13, taking on North Carolina in the Holiday Bowl.
Wow. Oregon minus 13.
Right?
Give me North Carolina. No, give me Oregon. Give me Oregon. Didn't North Carolina's... Isn't somebody important from North Carolina not even playing in this fucking game because they're going to the NFL or something? I think I heard that.
Somebody tried to basically not bribe their quarterback to like leave,
Oh, okay.
and they tried to like, give him basically just.
Or
give
did
him,
did he enter the portal?
No, I think
No?
he's staying at North
Oh, is
Carolina.
he?
I
Oh,
believe,
okay.
yes.
All right.
I'm rolling with North Carolina in this one.
You know what? I'm going to too. I'm going to go back with North
Yeah, I was
Carolina
going to say
for
that
some reason.
spread.
Yeah, that's a large spread.
Yes.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But yeah, it's for some reason I was thinking that North Carolina was losing an important player, but if
Yeah.
they're not, I'll go with them.
Next up, we got Texas Tech taking on Mississippi in the Texas Bowl.
All right, let me find this fucking game somewhere. Texas Tech taking on Ole Miss.
Yes,
What's the spread?
3.5. Mississippi is laying.
Give me Ole Miss.
I'll also take Ole Miss.
I am going with the Fighting Lane Kiffins as well.
You're going with Ole Miss.
Yes,
You're taking Ole Miss.
I'm taking Old Miss. Yes. Next up, we have Syracuse taking on Minnesota. Minnesota's laying 10 in the Pinstripe Bowl.
Give me Minnesota. Got to take the Minnesota there, yeah.
Yes. I am going with Syracuse in this one because I hate PJ Fleck.
And because you don't want to say the word Minnesota.
No, I'll say the word Minnesota.
Give me the Orangemen, too.
But no, I really hate PJ Fleck
I
that
know.
much.
Yeah. No, I'm aware of that. You hate a lot of people, actually.
That guy, especially.
That guy. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. Next up, we got Oklahoma taking on Florida State. Florida State's laying 9.5 in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Some of these fucking bowl games.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Cheez-It
Ridiculous.
Like, where do they, like, why does Cheez-It want to sponsor that? Like, I don't understand that.
Some of these are so fucking
Some of these are just, yeah, they're
the
incredibly dumb.
Cheez-It Bowl. Give me Florida State.
All right. I am also taking Florida State.
This will probably be the only time I ever pick Florida State.
Yeah.
All righty. Next up, we have Texas laying 3.5, taking out Washington in the Alamo Bowl.
Give me Washington.
All right. I'm going to, as much as I hate to do it, I'm going with Texas.
Going with Texas.
Yep. I'm also going with Texas.
They're back, baby. They're back. Next up, we got Notre Dame laying. Yeah. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em. Next up, we got Notre Dame laying 2.5, taking on South Carolina in the Gator Bowl.
I'll take Notre Dame.
Give me South Carolina. I just really hate Notre Dame. I do. It's bad.
You're taking Notre Dame, you said?
Yep. Eric is. I'm taking South
Or
Carolina.
South Carolina, sorry.
South Carolina. I'm taking South Carolina.
I'm going to roll with Notre Dame in this one.
I feel like I'm on a lot of islands today.
At
might be.
At least 3 that I know of. Next up, we got Tennessee taking on Clemson. Clemson's laying 4.5 in the Orange Bowl.
Give me Clemson. Tennessee doesn't have their starting quarterback. I don't see them. Yeah, I just don't see them playing very well in this game. Give me Clemson.
I'm with you. I'm going Clemson as well.
Yep. I will third that.
Look at that. Not on the island this time.
There you go, buddy. Next up, we have Tulsa taking on USC, and USC's laying 1.5 in the Cotton Bowl.
Tulsa?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this game at?
Or it's Tulane. I'm sorry, Tulane. My fault.
Oh, I was like, well, okay.
Oh, we
Tulane.
did
my,
that
my-
again.
My fault. Tulane.
Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane.
Tulane.
Yeah,
Tulane.
Tulane.
Tulane. All right. Tulane, USC minus 2.5? Or my
1.5.
1.5.
Yep.
Give me USC. Give me
The
the condoms.
Well,
Give me the fighting condoms.
I'm going with Tulane in this one. You going with the?
USC.
You going with the condoms?
He's taken Tulane.
Yeah.
I'm taking Tulane. Next up, we got Penn State taking on Utah. Utah's laying 2.5 in the Rose Bowl.
Utah.
Yeah, give me the Utahs.
The Utes.
Oot.
Ready?
That's a lot of fucking college games.
I told you.
Yeah.
I'm also taking Utah.
Utah.
Utah. Alrighty. Next up, we have Alabama laying 5.5, taking on Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl.
Give me Alabama.
Yep. Give me Alabama as well.
I am also rolling with Alabama.
I think they're going to. Not that Kansas State isn't good, but they've been pretty good all year, but much better recently.
Uncle Nick's pissed.
But yeah, I was going to
Right.
say Saban
Yeah.
wants to go out there and,
Yeah.
and in his mind prove that they should be in the playoffs.
Yes.
And he's gonna put a whooping on Kansas State.
Next
I'd
up,
buy
we,
a million.
I'm taking Alabama to put on a whooping.
That's yes. Hooked on phonics worked for me.
Took it and putting on a whooping.
That's right. Next up, we have one of the college football playoff semifinal games. Ohio State taking on Georgia. Georgia's laying 7 in the Peach Bowl.
Give me Georgia. I kind of gave away my pick earlier.
You
on
did, because
in,
we kind of
in the day.
Yeah,
but,
we kind of bullshitted about it, but
yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think Georgia ends up having more than the 7 points
Right.
that were.
I'm taking
we're
Ohio
doing right
State.
now.
Yeah, I'm also taking Ohio State.
Okay, guess I'll be on that fucking
A little
island
bit
again.
closer than that.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, hey, I guess I'll just take and go fuck myself.
And in the other college football playoff semifinal, we have TCU taking on Michigan. Michigan's laying 8 in the Fiesta Bowl.
Give me Michigan.
Yep. Give me Michigan.
By the way, for the next picks, you can just put Eric down for Detroit.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Alright,
absolutely.
just put him down for
Yeah, obviously.
Put him down for next week's Detroit game too.
Yeah, you can. You already know where I'm at.
Are you taking him?
Took him.
I'm taking them. All the way, bud.
All the way.
All right, and now we're
And you expect me not to call you a slappy?
Hey.
such a honk. All right, next up we're moving on to the NFL. Not as many games in the NFL, so that's good.
It's good.
That's good. This is a smaller slate, you know.
That is also what she said.
First up, we got the Cowboys laying 10 taking on the Tennessee Titans.
Give me Tennessee.
Give me Dallas because Tennessee technically has nothing to play for, and I don't see that they're going to go all out in this game. I think Dallas is going to end up winning this game by quite a bit. And I don't like the way Tennessee's been playing lately. And I believe I heard that isn't Derrick Henry hurt?
Is he?
I believe he is. Let me look that
Really?
up.
So you said you're taking Dallas?
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas.
And Eric, you were taking Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Okie dokie. There we go. Next up, we have Carolina taking on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's laying 3. This has the potential to be one of the worst games ever.
Sorry, I'm looking up the Derrick Henry news. He did not participate in practice on Tuesday. When asked if he was going to play, he said, whatever I got to do, I'm ready to do. There's a chance Derrick Henry doesn't play in this game, basically.
Right.
So,
So if you want to get in the minus 10 right now, get in the minus 10 right now.
yeah. So, it might be another reason why it's at minus 10.
Yeah.
being in Tennessee. But
Right.
they got Malik Willis. Might not have no Ryan Tannehill. Malik Willis. Maybe no Derrick Henry. Just giving listeners out there a little bit of an insight here. What was the next game you picked? Sorry.
Carolina, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's laying 3.
Give me Carolina in this game, fighting for their lives, fighting for that playoff spot in that division. It's weird to say right now. Listen, Tampa won that last game against Arizona. Wasn't really in deciding fashion. They haven't necessarily looked good in any of their games. And to me right now, I think Carolina actually is a better team. Even with losing their head coach halfway through the year, even with Sam Darnold at quarterback, even with losing Christian McCaffrey, they still have a three-headed running back there that they rely on. Sam Darnold is not making mistakes. They actually have a pretty good team going right now. Give me Carolina.
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
I'll also take Carolina too.
Yes. I'll be on that island.
Yeah.
That's fine. Next up, we have Cleveland taking on Washington. Washington's laying 2.
Yeah, give me
Yeah,
Washington.
give me Washington. Yeah.
Give me Washington. My team is fucking brutal right now. I can't pick them. I just can't do it.
You know what? Nope. I'm going with Cleveland. Because I believe Carson Wentz is starting that game.
Oh, is he really?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, hold on.
And you know my absolute disdain for Carson Wentz.
No, I do. I do. Hold on. Dude, before I make my pick.
I believe I read that. I think this past weekend I read that he was starting.
It's a possibility. You know what? Still give me Washington. Fuck it. Give me the Redskins because my team is a shit show. Give me the Redskins.
Okay. Next up, we have the Dolphins taking on the Patriots. New England's laying 2.5.
Give me the Pats.
Give him the Pats, he says. All right.
And this one's tough too
I don't
because
know,
is Tua going to play or not?
Exactly.
And that's
I'm betting on no.
I'm betting on no as well.
I'm kind of leaning that way. And I forgot. This is bad for me to say, but I forgot who the backup quarterback is for Miami.
I honestly have no idea. I legitimately have no
I
idea.
should
clue.
know this, and I'm very mad that I don't. How do I not know this?
I legitimately
Considering they've already played this year, they started a game?
Yeah.
I honestly,
And
I
I have no
legitimately
idea
have no
who it
idea
is.
who their backup quarterback is. I don't. Oh, it's Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, Teddy B.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did I not fucking remember that?
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know how that affects your.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm still going to take Miami. I'm going to take Miami. Probably dumb. It's in New England. No, I'm an idiot. Give me New England.
Okay.
Yeah, give me New England. In New England, cold weather. Miami's on a slide right now.
Right.
Tua's probably not going to play. It's going to be Teddy B. No.
I'm going with Miami.
Wow.
Patriots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Huh? What?
What?
What? Huh?
You took him?
Who?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
took
clearly.
Are you took in the Pats?
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Jets laying 1.5 against the Seahawks.
Give me the Jets.
Jets.
Mike White's back this week.
He is, yes. They have a better shot to win, but I'm still going to take let Geno cook.
I'm taking the Sea Chickens as well.
It's not delivery. It's the Geno.
Told you, we should have made choice for that, man. We really should have. Next up, we have Minnesota taking on Green Bay. Green Bay's laying 3.5.
Honestly, give me Green Bay. They're on a roll, and we've talked about it. Minnesota is kind of fraudulent. They've got nothing to play for. I don't see them coming out and really killing themselves for this game. It's in Green Bay. Give me Green Bay.
And it's a 4:25 start.
Yeah, give me Green Bay.
I'm also going with Green Bay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting on that island today. Give me Green Bay.
Biggest thing for me is Minnesota has nothing to play for.
No.
They don't.
Nothing. They have nothing. To play
They don't. And Green Bay has everything to play for. Right. So, next up, we got Pittsburgh taking on Baltimore. Baltimore's laying 3. Is Lamar back?
I don't know. Not that I've heard.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think so.
I don't know.
Wow. I don't know either. Let me see.
Because that kind of influences this. Because if Lamar's not back, I'm definitely taking the Steelers.
No, they really haven't said.
Right.
Oh, yeah, nothing says.
Well, I'm going to assume
They're unclear if Lamar Jackson's going to be back. I'm just going to go with the fact that Lamar will be back. I'm going to say he's going to be back because they're kind of being tight-lipped about it. They're not really saying anything about it.
Right.
Give me Baltimore in this game.
I'm taking the Steelers. You're taking
Yeah,
Baltimore?
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh too.
Okay. Next up, we got the Bills.
Another island for me.
You're right.
Give me those islands.
Next up, we got the Bills taking on the Bengals. Buffalo's laying 1.
Bills and the Bungles.
This is actually a big game.
Big game.
It is.
Big game. Give me the Bengals.
I'm with you, Joe. I'm also taking the Bengals.
Yeah, it's across the board.
Wow.
And finally, the biggest game of the week.
Always the biggest game.
Yeah, always. The Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. The Lions are laying 6.
Okay.
I'm already going to write Detroit in for Eric.
He's questioning that right now with the 6 points.
I'm surprised that it's 6.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Bears because it is 6 points. I don't see them winning this game by that much. I think Lions will win this game, but I don't necessarily think that. I don't know. Give me the Bears to be within 6.
I am taking the Lions to cover that 6.
Yeah, I am also still taking the Lions.
Yes.
I was surprised by it, but
That is a lot, but I feel like I think their offense rebounds this week, and like we talked about earlier, the Bears besides Justin Fields,
They really don't have anybody.
right? So yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Lions in this one.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be an idiot. I should
as long
have
as we can
taken
stop the
Carolina
run
last
this week.
but-
As long as we can stop the run. If we can't stop the run, it's going to look bad again.
Well, I mean,
Because that's all they have is the run.
I was say that's all they have.
Yeah.
So that and Cole
We get
Kmet.
gashed for 300 more yards again. That's not going to work out.
Well, he did the last time they played Chicago, and still won. So, all right,
That's it.
that's it.
That's it.
Wait, that's it. That's all we got. We don't have any more picks.
No, we don't have any more picks.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know, right? We don't have any more picks. That was a lot. That's by far the most we've ever done.
Yep. You know who's another good pick though?
Who's that?
The Joe Wright Group.
That's right.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
There you go.
Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo.
Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Good job. So, for our taste this segment, I think we got something pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it? What do we got?
It is Hazy-O, Hazy IPA. I believe this is one you brought last
Yeah,
week.
it might be.
Most positive it is. It looks like it's from Dogfish Head, which they tend to make good beer, so.
Okay.
All right, motherfuckers,
I'm
let's
hoping
take a
this
time
one
out and taste this.
does not disappoint. Like, I feel like the last 3 or 4 we've had have been trash.
Yeah, they haven't been good. Hopefully.
Just didn't jump out at you, you know?
Last week's
Last
wasn't
week's-
necessarily, it wasn't bad. It
No.
just wasn't,
It wasn't
Good.
anything special.
Right.
It was just kind of like, okay.
yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, I've had this beer before.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Alrighty.
It was like that one night stand where you get done and you just look at her and go, all right, well, you know the way out, right? Like you don't You're not really wanting a second go round. You're just like, okay,
Hey,
well,
get the fuck out.
all right. Well, that was all right. So, you know where the front door's at.
Yes. That's where you got to be like Barney Stinson. You have it where like there's like sheets on like one half of the bed for him, nothing for her or anything like that. All right. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
You got.
Jesus.
You're having some
Weird.
problems over there, buddy.
Yeah, the mute button on it's like stuck.
Oh. All right.
It's not bad.
It's not.
It's not bad. This is one where I almost want to ask for a second taste, but it's not bad. It at least has a distinct flavor.
It does.
That it definitely does.
And that's the thing I'll give this credit for, because the last 3 or 4 we've tried haven't stood out. They haven't
No.
been distinct. And I'm not saying I like this distinct flavor. I'm just saying it is very distinct. It's like you wouldn't necessarily taste this and go, I've had this before for sure. It's like, oh, all right. Well, that's unique.
I'll give it like a 2.75.
I'll go to 3.2. It's. I would probably drink this. I don't know how many of them I drink, but it's very distinct.
Yeah.
And it's got it's not a bad flavor. I would drink one of these.
See,
two of these.
That's my kind of deal right there.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah. See, like for me, I'd give that a 5.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It's a strong one too. It's at 7.1.
Okay. Yeah, to me it's not bad. It's got a very distinct flavor, which is what I look for in a beer, and to me it just doesn't stand out as being great where I would like run out and buy it, but it's good. If you handed me one of these at your house, I'd be like, oh, all
Yes,
right.
I would
Yeah.
absolutely drink it.
Yeah.
If somebody
All
handed
right.
me one of these, I'd be like, yes, I will absolutely drink this.
Yeah,
I wouldn't seek it out.
wouldn't
though.
seek it out,
Right,
but I would.
yeah, no.
I would definitely be cool with having one again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not again better than some of the choices we've had the past few weeks. This one at least has like a flavor profile to it.
Yes.
you know.
Yes, have something that hits your palate a little bit.
Yes,
and
so
gives you a little bit of a hey, I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
By the way.
I feel like this would average a like a 4, because he said 5, I said 2.75, and you said what 3.2?
3.2.
Yeah, so like a 3.7 range.
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah,
Somewhere in there.
yeah.
All right, whether you're having drinks with friends or just want something fun and different to listen to, take a Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Bald Man Entertainment. Time Out with Steven Scott is drinking, jokes, wrestling, movies, memories, and so much more. Every show, they taste and sample different drinks and foods, like we just did here with the drinks, which is where we got that segment from. They do it with Jelly Bean Roulette, which we will never do. But that's Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Bald Man Entertainment. Look them up on YouTube or at timeoutpodcastwss.com. And be sure to follow them on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Anything else we want to get into today?
Oh no, I can think of
Anything? Eric, thanks for joining us again.
We
Thanks
appreciate
for having me,
it.
guys.
You've done well. It's been fun. So, yeah, anytime you want to join us again, just let us know.
Will do.
Yeah. And we actually gave you the rundown today before the show.
Yes, you did.
We
Yeah.
didn't leave you hanging like last show.
right.
That which was fine.
Our bad.
Yeah, that was kind of on us, man. But so before we get going, you're probably going to hate me for this, but I was going to give you a chance to kind of maybe tell a little bit about yourself to people out there. Like, everyone knows us. They probably know us more than they want to, actually, if they listen to the show. They know us way more.
Yeah.
So, you want to give a little bit of an insight into you a little bit, or you just want to keep it? Are you trying to keep it like mysterious?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I figured I might be putting you on the spot for that.
You
one.
are.
Yeah.
You are. I'll come up with something maybe for another time.
Yeah. If you want to, maybe next time you're on, if it's next
Yeah.
week or whatever, maybe just give people some insight. They know you're a Lions fan at this point,
Clearly.
so
Clearly I have problems.
they know you're. Well, I mean, if we want to get into what problems you have,
Hey now. Hey now.
I won't get into that with you though, because I have
Appreciate
way
it,
too many
bud.
problems that I don't want to share with people either. So
I mean, we do have episode 100 coming up. So.
episode 100,
Air out the laundry.
dirty laundry 100.
Episode 100. I mean,
Oh shit. All right. Well, anyways, thanks for joining us. It's been fun, man. Appreciate you coming on. And anytime you want to come back, you're welcome back. And Alicia, if you want to come with him one day, feel free to come on in.
I know Lady Friend wouldn't mind that. So
No, she could have some company while listening to us jackasses.
that's right.
So, all right. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. It's the end of the episode for the week. This is episode 99. We will not be doing an episode on Sunday since it is New Year's Day, but we will be back again next week for episode 100 of the OG Sports on Tap Detroit. Maybe Eric will be here. Maybe he won't. We don't know. Might not know until that day. We'll roll the dice and figure it out. Whatever. We're going to have something special for 100, though, I think. We can figure out something special.
I'm sure we will
for
figure out
100.
something, yes.
But give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out SOTDET.com, where you can find our blogs, Fantasy Insight. You can find a place called Shop.
Yeah, buy
where
stuff.
where you can
I know
click
Christmas is over, but
you can
still
click on
buy
Shop.
stuff.
Yeah, listen, next Christmas is coming up really soon. It's only 363 days away.
Hey.
So buy some Christmas presents for next year.
Don't be a procrastinator.
Yeah,
Get it done early.
Don't do it last minute. Do it early and buy SOTDET.com. Click on Shop and buy Detroit Sports on Tap Detroit merchandise. SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris, Eric sitting in today, and maybe in the future, who knows? I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no.
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
You were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.